Hey guys, it's Daniel. The following is a clip from my video on Frances Bean Cobain and her father Kurt. If you want to see the full video, it's linked below.
There was a lot of controversy happening in Kurt Cobain's life around the time Frances Bean was born. Frances Bean Cobain was born on August 18, 1992. Just a few days after she was born, the Department of Children and Family Services almost took custody of her. There were rumors that both Kurt and Courtney had been taking drugs throughout Courtney's entire pregnancy. Though Courtney in particular did use drugs early on in her pregnancy, according to several sources, once she learned she was pregnant, she stopped using. Regardless, Frances Bean Cobain was almost taken away from Kurt and Courtney just a few days after she was born. Of all the craziness at the time, the most infuriating episode for Kurt was the now infamous Vanity Fair article. On September 1st, 1992, journalist Lynn Hirschberg published an article in Vanity Fair titled Strange Love, the story of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. This article absolutely infuriated Kurt and Courtney. The article stated that Courtney Love had been using heroin for several months while pregnant. In response to the article, Kurt Cobain sent a letter in 1992 to David Geffen, the head of Nirvana's record label DGC. In this letter, Kurt Cobain stated how enraged he was about the Vanity Fair article, and that Nirvana is second in importance to him after his family. This is a segment from that letter. Quote, Dear David Geffen, Hi, my name is Kurt Cobain. I'm the lead singer, guitar, and songwriter for the band Nirvana. Supposedly, I've made your company a lot of money. Oh well, it was never a goal of mine to be part of the mainstream corporate world. But once I entered it, I realized that there are other employees, especially at DGC, who are as honest and sincere about music and have basically the same values as I have. I've never met you, I guess because I've never wanted to. Kind of a big boss phobia of mine. But something so severely defaming towards my family has come up in an article in Vanity Fair that has forced me to decide on breaking up my band. The article suggests that Courtney and I have been taking heroin continuously throughout her pregnancy, which is not true. Courtney found out she was pregnant within the first month of our drug binge. She stopped using and has since been visiting Danny Goldberg's pediatrician on a regular basis. The doctor's prognosis is that our child is in excellent health, and there is no need to worry about anything. But this article has outright accused my wife of all kinds of hideously vile things to the point where I've never seen such a personal attack in a magazine. The woman's entire objective was to harm Courtney, and now after you read the article, I hope something may be done about it. I love my wife and soon-to-be new daughter too much to let everyone's low opinions of us ruin our lives together. I am in rehab going on 18 days, and I'm really looking forward to having a family. At this point, F Nirvana. I've never admitted to using drugs in articles because I don't want my fans to do the same. We are capable of displaying a healthy attitude before our audience, and the next record is easily as good as the last one. But I'm so extremely pissed off about this piece of trash journalism that I'll lay anything on the line for the love of my wife and daughter. End quote. Now, of course, Kurt didn't actually break up Nirvana, but this goes to show how upset he was. Now, in response to Kurt, David Geffen faxed Kurt Cobain this reply. Quote, Kurt, I know that you are upset about the recent article on Courtney and the attacks made on her character. I sympathize with what you're going through and how it can affect you. The press have a way of sabotaging your privacy. The thing you have to remember is that these things pass, and people quickly forget about articles of this type. You just have to let your life go on. End quote. This quote is from December of 1992. Quote, I've never read an article that was more convincing yet more ridiculous in my life than the Vanity Fair article. Everyone from our record label to our management to our closest friends believed it. The author did a really good job of taking a piece of what Courtney had said and turning it into something completely different. I've seen that happen before. It's happened with me a lot of times, but this was such an extreme and done so well that I have to give her credit. She's a master at being catty. Courtney was honest about the heroin excursion we went on for a few months. Then Courtney found herself pregnant, realized she was pregnant, and had a drug problem and got off drugs. It's as simple as that. But it made it look like 8 months after the fact, Courtney was 9 months pregnant and still doing drugs and everyone was really concerned. Like there was some awful den inquiry going on in our apartment. I looked really skinny. Well, I am a skinny person and I gain 10 pounds every time I'm photographed. So people assume I'm this chunky, normal weight person. I'm just so tired of thinking about this. We have to live with the results of this one article every day. It's something we have to deal with all the time. I was totally pissed off. My first thoughts were to have her snuffed out. I've never wanted to do that to anybody, especially a woman, but I just had so much anger in me. It was done so well. We were just helpless to combat something like that. We've had to do fluff pieces to try to fight this thing. It's embarrassing to have to do that. To pose with your family on the cover of a magazine to hope that some people at least question the validity of Vanity Fair. And we've done a couple of other things. It pissed me off to the point of not even wanting to hate that much. We could have filed a lawsuit with Condé Nast, Vanity Fair's mother organization, but they have so many millions of dollars. They could have filibustered for 10 years and we wouldn't have come up with anything except losing most of our money. Don't believe everything you read. I always knew to question things. All my life, I never believed most things I read in history books and a lot of things I learned in school. But now I found out I don't have the right to make a judgment on someone based on something I've read. I don't have the right to judge anything. That's the lesson I've learned.